Welcome back to another episode of Against the Grain Living. We're up here at the log yard at the house. I've been working the past couple weeks just cleaning up some of the slab wood from last year's milling job, trying to make more room for the mill coming next month. We just whipped together this little apparatus to hold up some of the slabs once I got down to stuff that was close to the ground. I just got these two piles to stack on some skids here. Clean up this stuff, throw it in the compost pile, and I'll show you what I got organized here for this year milling. And today I'm all packed up, ready to go back up to the property. I'm going alone, so I'm just taking the silky saw, the axe, a couple loopers and pruners and stuff, and just gonna do the lights, trail clearing in the hardwood bush. And then tomorrow Michelle's coming up with me, so I'll bring the saw and we'll do some of the denser forest with the big 441. But anyway, I'll show you where we're sitting here up in the log yard, and we'll get on with the day. So I sorted through the pile that was sitting right here where the grass isn't very good and separated it into stuff worth milling, and if we have time, get the odd board out of stuff in there. But I got a bunch of 1-inch boards on the bottom of this pile that we didn't have time to run through the mill, make them into boards. They still have the wane on either side. And then my 6x6, 16 feet long, are sitting on top of that. This pile here is to pay the mill guy. It's worth like $1 million by today's standards with lumber prices. But we got that for him, plus whatever we can get 2x material cut off this log pile here for him. So hopefully that'll be enough to pay the bill. So this is a bunch of smaller stuff. I got a bunch of projects to make with some of the cedar furniture and stuff for the sister's wedding, so still going to use most of that, and the rest will be firewood. And then that's one of the 2 slab piles still left from last year that I have to clean up, but we're getting there. So we got all this cut, split, stacked. Bit of work. It's all just campfire wood for up at the lake. And then some more cool cedar pieces, all twisted and stuff and bent for some other furniture pieces. But once I get this all cleared up in here, raked up, we'll be able to put the new slab pile. All the finished lumber is gonna go down to the garage. I'll show you now what I got going on down there. And I got the final tally, and I know what I need out of that bigger pile, so hopefully we can get it and get the mill guy everything he needs for himself as well. So that'll be coming up here within 4 weeks. So we got all our 2x4 by 16 feet long. That's the whole floor beams. This is a bunch of the uprights. That's mainly what we'll be milling. So they're 6x6. I think they're 9 and a bit feet long for some fancy joint I'm gonna do. And this is all 4x6 material in here. That's all for 12-foot rafters. And then just the that platform I was working on right there. That's a pair of 6x6s. Once we get that one tarp off, all the other 16-foot 6x6s will be coming in here. And everything we get off the mill other than the 1-inch boards and 2x material. I do have a small selection of 2x stuff up there. But yeah, so this whole half of the garage is going to be just heaped with essentially the cabin, or the shell of the cabin anyway. Just so I don't have to deal with tarps in the winter time, because that's when I'll be moving it up by the snowmobile. So I'll be able to just crack the door, load it in. Hopefully the brother's trailer will be available, and be a few loads up. Load her on the sled setup and snowmobile into the cabin site. So a bit of work ahead of us this year. But that's where we're sitting so far. So I'm still walking in to the property site. It's been 45 minutes since I left the truck. So these are the rock ledges. Doesn't do it justice on camera, but there's just these ledges everywhere going up to the top of the hill. So you just have to follow the ravine along them and find a switchback or a more gradual spot and zigzag your way up. So that's the type of terrain I'm dealing with for getting the material in and cutting that walking trail to from the trapper's cabin to the new cabin site. So just so you guys get a visual of what I'm working with here, but it just keeps going till you find a spot that you can walk without rock climbing. Well, we made her into the cabin build site. We're just kicking some sticks off to the side and finished marking the last little bit of the walking trail that'll connect the trapper's cabin to this site. Took about an hour and 15 minutes to walk in from the truck. Saw a few grouse, and hopefully I can get some of the little stuff out of the way. It's just going to be a loper day for little stuff, and a lot of old fallen trees that I can handle by hand. I'll just start tossing them out of the way. I got the saw and the axe if I need it. But we're just gonna get all the little stuff out of the way for now. It's all hardwood in here, this trail, for I'm gonna say 1.8 kilometers, so it's just getting the little stuff that you trip up on out of the way. It's pretty easy to pick a wide enough gap between the trees. Tomorrow will be the fun stuff, going through the thick, but we'll have the saw for that, which helps a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna get at this. Just got a few snacks for lunch. Probably won't get much footage of this. It's pretty self-explanatory, but hopefully we can get. So this is gonna be the trail that I cut for getting all the materials in with the sled. Walking trail goes straight to the trapper's cabin, and then I want to make a trail down and across a small little pond back out to the original trail in, and then we'll have a few different loops we can do for snowshoeing and stuff in the wintertime. Hopefully I can get them all. Obviously the trail maintenance will be always ongoing, but hopefully I can at least poke a 4-foot fairly clear gap through. It's easier going in the wintertime. Snowpack covers a lot of this stuff, but that's the plan till the bugs come out, and then I'll be back at the house running the mill, and then it's just going to be working lots to save money to buy materials so I can haul it all in here next year. But I'm going to get at it here. You can hear him, that woodpecker. I tried to get some footage of him, but couldn't get focused on him. Just a little guy. So, we made pretty good progress. You can see that birch that's hanging over. We stopped there. That was about 150 meters. Nice and cleared. There's a few big ones that I'll need the chainsaw for, but yeah, that was, I don't know, 3 hours at pretty good pace, because I only had 3 hours to spend at it, because by the time I walked out and get back to the house, try to get there when Michelle will get home, make some dinner. We're back up tomorrow with the chainsaw, so hopefully it'll go a lot quicker. But I'm just I'll walk this out and we'll see you tomorrow. Those beavers have been at work. Look at that. Look at the chunks they get off of that. They're after a big one. Just a steady path down to the water. Well, it's April 25th up here with Michelle. It's only 6 degrees Celsius outside, so we got the fire rocking. Got some hot dogs wrapped in bacon. I'm gonna go up here. Well, we got the window out and the door wide open because for this stove to cook anything, you need it pretty well wide open. It was too windy and cold outside to be sitting out at the outside one. We wanted to get out of the wind, but now it's too hot in here, so. The cabin's just to that sign and to the left and across the bridge. So we're just up here. Got the new entrance way to the trail. Michelle carrying on, snipping the little stuff. We just got the 170 sharpened, refueled. We cut before lunch, one tank full. Got a few 100 yards. So we're gonna try to make it to the top of the hill now. And we'll be into the hardwoods once we get to the top, which is easier. So next weekend we're here for 2 days. And hopefully we'll get the rest of the trail cut. Well, that wraps up another day of cutting brush. Ran 2 tanks of fuel through the saw. By the time we get back to the cabin and paddle back to the truck and the drive home, that'll take up the rest of the day. So we're out of here. We'll be back next weekend. Couple days of cutting, so hopefully we'll poke through to the cabin by next Sunday. But there's still probably weeks worth of cutting trail throughout this calendar year in preparation for next winter. But the bugs will be upon us probably after next weekend, so we did what we could in the spring, and then we'll take it to the log yard from there. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Welcome back. It's May 1st today. We got a bit of snow yesterday and the temperatures are dropping again at night. So we're going over the last little beaver dam here with a full load of stuff going in. We just paddled through 25 minutes of rain and snow, and all my friends call these JR Ventures. They generally don't enjoy them. I do. Well, we got everything unloaded. Quite a bit of gear for 1 day of trail cutting in 1 night, but a bunch of this stuff we hauled in to leave it here in the cabin and in the wood shed. So we plan on moving this fire pit. I don't like how close it is to the cabin or these trees, and it was kind of in the way with the snowmobiles this winter, so we're gonna clear a bit of that up there and move the fire pit out in the open there. We got some brand new snips for Michelle. She enjoyed running the lopers last weekend, so these ones she can stand up with. We'll start at that and cook some food over the open fire. I think tonight we'll throw the grate over this once we get it moved. And brought up some comfy lawn chairs. That's the plan. It was 12 degrees when we left the house. And she's dropping quick, and then that rain and snow blew in. Well, we got a bit of work done. Got dinner on the go. It's almost 8 o'clock tonight, so a few chicken tornadoes and some rice. That's our new fire pit. Chair set up for later tonight. We're just gonna keep burning scraps that are laying around the yard here after we eat. Michelle's inside getting unpacked and the bed's ready. A little windy and the temperature's still dropping. We'll get some grub into us here though. Got some dishwater on the go from the stream. That's what we're eating tonight. Some chicken fried rice, chicken tornadoes, some baby carrots. Well, good morning. It's May 2nd. It's 2 degrees up there on the thermometer. It's had a bit of a lazy morning. It's at 8 o'clock. But it was down to 0 last night. We did fire up the fire in the cabin just for a couple hours. The door was open the whole time until it just had a bed of coals, and then we closed up the fireplace tight and managed to keep it 18 degrees. Was the coldest, I think, at 5 this morning, so it was actually a good night in the cabin. But we're just gonna make some oatmeal, coffee, hot chocolate, and then work on the outhouse a little bit, get it up on blocks, try to get the door locking better, and then head her out, take off cutting trail where we left off last weekend. Well, it's 10:30. It's been raining on us off and on all this morning, so we've just been doing cleanup and hiding from the rain when it comes down a little harder. But we got all the metal from around here all collected, and I'll haul that out after I do a burn because there's some nails and stuff that'll bring a magnet up for. We got to deal with that ladder too. We'll burn it up. That's one of my posts for the covered deck, but we got some stuff all organized and stacked behind the cabin there. Michelle's been loping like crazy. She got all the stuff out of this area. It looked like this before. Hard to see, but a lot of little bushes. So the whole idea is to clear up this whole area of that. But we got the fire pit leveled and moved. I'm hauling out a bag of garbage, old tarps and plastic and bottles and tablecloths, but she snipped up this whole area. Nothing to trip on. So we found all sorts of stuff to burn sitting up in there. Some of it that's salvageable I got leaning up in the trees. It's the pressure treated deck boards and stuff from one previous owner. Must have built a few things. So we got the deck, or I guess it's a little deck, but the outhouse platform all leveled up now because it was just set on snow when I brought it up. So we got it supported 3 places all the way around each side on some pads and pressure treated. But I threw the level on it. It's good both ways and it's sturdy now. The door wouldn't open there when the snow disappeared because the skid sagged in the middle there. So we got it sitting good now. But we're just gonna head out now to do the trail cutting. We'll keep working on this yard throughout the year, and we'll get going up the hill. It's supposed to get sunny, 12 to 14 degrees, something like that today, so I'm sure we'll be complaining of the heat once we get working. We'll get our way up there though. We gotta probably walk. Actually, I'm hoping to be able to poke out the rest of the way right to the trapper's cabin, and we'll do one of those walk apps and see how far it is back to the cabin, give you an update. Well, it warmed right up here in the afternoon. It's 20 after 3. We've been cutting trail since, well, sometime this morning. But stopped for some hot dogs and tidied up the cabin, and black flies are killing us now. they're here. That's it. Bugs are here for a couple months. But I fired up Map My Ride app at the cabin. We walked to it and was trying to map it back, but the app malfunctioned, and it was about 15 minutes of brisk walking to this point. I'm gonna fire it back up and see if I can map the rest of the way to the cabin and sort of stitch something together for how long this trail is. So this is where I am now. Started the first process of a corduroy bridge across this little bit of a bog. We have a little bit more trail cleared all the way up the hill and around a couple switchbacks, but we'll touch base with you back at the cabin, see how long of a walk it was, and then get out of here. Well, my best guess on how far it is cabin to cabin is probably 1.25 kilometers based on I managed to get the app to work for 0.3 kilometers, so I just multiplied that average pace by the 15 minutes of walking prior. So one of these days I'll get an accurate map done, but for whatever reason that Map My Ride didn't work. Anyway, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time we get up here. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.